What is up, guys? Justin here from the game room for a pickups video today. I've had an absolutely insane week of pickups, and the majority of the deals that I did this week all came from the same person. So I've got 3 separate bundles to show you guys in this video. I'm calling them RPG bundles. Not every single game I'm going to show is an RPG, but the majority of them are, and they all came from the same person. So the first deal I worked out with them I worked out the deal with them Saturday evening, but I actually met up with them on Sunday morning for a DS and 3DS bundle. And originally they had posted a 3DS XL system and a bunch of really nice games. And I can't remember the exact price they were asking, but I want to say it was like 180, or it was probably, actually it might have been like 200 or 220. And so I messaged them and asked if they would be interested in just selling the games individually. And surprisingly enough, they said that they would. And what was even more surprising was that they named their price of $80 for all the games, which is less than I would have offered. I probably would have said 100 if they had me make an offer, but I was definitely happy with 80. So I've got some DS and 3DS games to show you guys here. I'll start out with the original DS games. A few nice ones for the collection in here. I'm going to show this one first so I don't forget it. It's the only loose game I got. The rest of these were all complete, I believe. So we got Pokemon Heart Gold version. And it's been a long time since I've had Heart Gold or Soul Silver, but I think they're both still pretty expensive. I want to say this is like, you know, a $40 or $50 cartridge only. So, I mean, that's half the value of the bundle right there, at least what I paid for it. So, on to the original DS games here. This one is for the collection. I don't have this one. Bleach, the Third Phantom. I'm not super familiar with the Bleach series. It's a Sega RPG, it looks like. I want to say it was an anime, but I'm not 100% sure. Someone can drop a comment and let me know on that. But I'll be hanging on to that one for the collection. Same with this one, Mega Man Star Force 2, Zerker X, was it Saurian? I don't know, I never really kept up with the Mega Man games after like the Super Nintendo ones, so I'm not too familiar with the DS ones. I have the other one though, which I think was, what, like Zerker X Ninja or something? It's over there on the shelf somewhere, so I've got both of them. We got Kingdom Hearts. So this is Kingdom Hearts. Is it 358 over 2 days is how I've heard most people pronounce it, but I guess it could be 358 and a half days. I'm not real sure. But I did not have this one. I'll be keeping this one. This Kingdom Hearts game I did already have, though. Kingdom Hearts Recoded. We got Pokemon White version. Golden Sun, Dark Dawn, I already have this one, but this was the one I was most excited about. Definitely did not have this one. Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon, which is a pretty expensive one on the DS. I think I saw it going for like 40 bucks, so I'm going to be hanging on to that one for the collection. Lots of Fire Emblem games in this video, so yeah, this is one for the collection. So that was all the original DS games. Here are the 3DS games I got here. The one oddball title in here was Lego Marvel Superheroes Universe in Peril. I don't know. But again, Fire Emblem Fates Birthright. We got Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Monster Hunter Generations. Final Fantasy Explorers. I have never heard of this Final Fantasy game before, so I'm not real sure what this is. You got Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Omega Ruby. So I think that was it for the DS stuff. Yeah, it was. So $80 for that whole bundle was an insane deal. And when I met up with them, I asked them, hey, you know, do you have anything else you're looking to get rid of? I named him off some of the older systems, you know, Nintendo, Sega, Game Boy, that type of stuff. And he's like, well, I have a PSP that we were going to, you know, take pictures of and post. And I was like, oh, you know, do you have any games for it? Thinking like, okay, you know, a bunch of RPGs in here. Like, he's obviously into RPGs. PSP was a big RPG system. He's got to have some, right? And he's like, yeah, I got a bunch of games, man. So it was later that day, I think is when they messaged me and they sent me pictures of this PSP bundle. And it was a solid bundle. I mean, it was a system and I don't know how many games, but there was quite a few of them, lots of RPGs. Nothing like super high dollar, but I was definitely interested. I asked them for a price, and they told me $220. And I was like, yeah, I was like, you know, I already have a system. Like, would you want to sell just the games or whatever? and they were like, no, we're trying to keep this one together as a bundle. So I was like, yeah, a little bit disappointed, but I knew that they probably weren't going to sell it for $220. So I was like, yeah, you know, if you post it up and don't get any takers, you know, just hit me up and we'll figure something out maybe. So sure enough, like, I think it was like the next afternoon, they hit me up and said, hey, you know, are you still interested in the PSP bundle? I said yes. They told me to make an offer, and I told them $120. I was prepared to go up to like maybe $140 if I really had to, but they were like, yeah, that sounds good. So I met up with them that night for this PSP bundle. And so here's the system I got here. If I can figure out how to get this case open. Here we go. It's actually the red God of War PSP. So I picked one of these up at the garage sales this past summer, and it did not end up working. I think I paid like $10 for something for it, and it wouldn't read a disc. It wouldn't recognize a memory card. So I'm hoping this one works. He told me that it did, and he told me that the home button is a little bit sticky. It doesn't feel like it, but I'm hoping it's, you know, that's not like a major issue or anything with it. The back of it's kind of scratched up, but not horrible. And I think this is a pretty expensive. Like when I looked it up back when, you know, when I got that one at the garage sales, I saw them selling for like $80, $90. You know, in good shape. This one's not real great, but if it works, that's going to be pretty solid. It came with the AC adapter here and a bunch of games and some UMD movies. I'll show those last. I'm going to start out with the two loose ones I got here. The rest of them at least came with cases. Not all of them were complete, I don't think, but these are the only like loose ones. Ratchet & Clank Size Matters and Untold Legends. What is this one? It's so small I can't even read it. Brotherhood of the Blade? I think that's it. And then the rest of the ones with the cases here. So we got Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep. I don't know why I said Final Fantasy. So this one was in there. I'm not going to open every single one of these. I'll try to remember which ones didn't have manuals, but that one was complete with the cardboard slipcover here. One random oddball title in this bundle as well, Madden 07. We got Brave Story, New Traveler. I've never seen this one before. It's an Xseed game. The artwork is like sideways, so usually when I see them like this, they were part of like a, you know, collector's edition or something, so I'm not familiar with this game. I've never heard of it. Someone can drop a comment and let me know what it is, or if this originally came with like a, you know, collector's set or whatever. There's no manual in here, so, and I don't know if it came with one. I'm assuming it probably did, but yeah. We got Mega Man Powered Up. So when I test the system, I think I'm going to put this one in and see what this is all about. Never played Mega Man on the PSP before. Judging from the back, it's kind of like, I don't know, it looks like a little cute and like cartoony, so like if Mega Man was on the Wii, like that's what it would be. But we'll check this one out, see what that's all about. We got Valkyrie Profile Lenneth? Star Ocean First Departure. Death Junior. So I posted a picture of this bundle on Facebook when I picked it up, and there was a few comments telling me that I had to check this one out. So when I test the system, after I play a little Mega Man, maybe I'll throw in Death Junior and see what that is. We got God of War Chains of Olympus. So I'm thinking that this might have came packed in with the red system. I'm not 100% sure though. I've never seen like the box for it, so drop a comment, let me know. Did this come packed in with the system or not? 300 March to Glory. I remember when this movie came out, although I've never actually seen it. We got Soul Calibur Broken Destiny, Bandai Namco game. Tales of the World Radiant Mythology, another Bandai Namco game. This one looks pretty nice. Here's a Final Fantasy game, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII. And this one that I don't know how to pronounce. Is that a D or a J? Jean d'Arc? It's like a French JRPG. I'm not sure exactly what this is. This one I've never heard of before. Moving on to the last stack here, we got Final Fantasy. Scarface, Money, Power, Respect. Feels like every time I pick up a PSP bundle, it always comes with Scarface. I don't know what people's fascination with this game was, but I see this one all the time. Another Untold Legends game. This one is The Warrior's Code. So I don't know if there was only 2 on the PSP, but if there was, then I have them both. Valhalla Knights 2. This one doesn't feel like it has a manual. Nope. It's got some nice artwork on the inside, though. And then I think the rest of these were movies. Yeah, so that was it for the games. The rest of these are movies here. We got Hellsing Impure Souls. Never heard of that before. Same with this one, Appleseed. This looks like an anime for sure, but I'm not familiar. Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within, and Ghostbusters. So, let's see, what did I say I paid for that? $120 for all that. Was pretty solid, you know, assuming the system works. I mean, that's worth probably $80 at least right there. And then, actually, I didn't even check what model this was. I can't remember from the last time I picked it up. 2001 model PSP. So, yeah, assuming that works, this could be a pretty solid deal. I never see the PSP stuff, so to get a bunch of them and a bunch of, like, oddball RPG titles was pretty cool. So, anyway, it was when I met up with them for that deal, I said again, hey, you know, if you have anything else, anything at all, definitely send me a message, you know, hit me up. And he told me, he's like, well, I have a Game Boy. And I asked him, you know, hey, what kind of Game Boy is it? Like an SP or like an older Game Boy system? And he was like, I can't remember, but I got a Game Boy and a bunch of games. So I'm thinking, like, okay, like, well, you know, definitely send me a message and, you know, shoot me a picture or something. And sure enough, I can't remember if it was the same night or the next day, they sent me a picture of, it wasn't a Game Boy, it was actually a DS Lite system that I was kind of like, yeah, I don't really need it. But they sent me a picture of these games, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm interested. And I asked them if they would just sell the games since, you know, it was a DS system. You know, these games play in the DS, but I told them I didn't really need it. And they said, yeah, how about $40 for the games? Is that too much? And I was like, no, that is not too much. I will give you $40 for these games. So it was like the next night after I got the PSP stuff, I met up with them again for this Game Boy bundle. And this was an insane deal, too, for $40. So got a couple older Game Boy games here I'll show. Donkey Kong Land 2. And Pokemon Gold version. And then the rest of these are Game Boy Advance games here. So a couple more Pokemon games, Sapphire and Ruby. And we got a couple Mega Man games as well. Mega Man Battle Network 3 White. Or is it Battle Network White 3? I'm not sure. And Mega Man Battle Network 2. This one's not in very good shape, but I actually was surprised when I looked this one up and saw that it was kind of an expensive game. Like $20 or $30 maybe for that one. Here's the oddball, you know, title out of this bundle, NHL Hits 2003. Although I want to say this one's pretty hard to find too. I don't think it's super expensive, and it's all kind of ripped up on the label there. But I didn't even know NHL Hits was on the Game Boy Advance, so I've definitely never had it. Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past 4 Swords. Fire Emblem. Yes, so this is like the second copy of this game I picked up in, well, I got one at Goodwill. It was probably like 6 or 8 months ago now, but I think I still have it. So I now have 2 of these in my possession. I think this is like a $40 cartridge as well. So this is pretty much worth what I paid for this entire Game Boy bundle here. We got Dynasty Warriors Advance, another one I've never had before. I don't think this one's real expensive though. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team. Tactics Ogre, an Atlas title. I've never had this one before. And I don't think it's real expensive, though. I think when I looked it up, it was like, you know, $20, $25. This one's probably closer to $20 because it's got a few, like, small rips on the label. But, yeah, I never had that one before. Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Kingdom Hearts. And finally, way to go out on a bang here, Duel Masters. This is a super cheap one on the Game Boy Advance. But yeah, $40 for that was insane. And of course I told him again, hey, if you have anything else laying around, please let me know. And he sounded pretty confident when he said, nah, like that's, you got everything now, man. Other than maybe like that 3DS XL. I don't know if they're still trying to sell that, but I don't really want that too bad. So, yeah, just insane. And I was just talking to somebody about this the other day, like, it's crazy when you find somebody like this that was into the RPG games, you know, back in, you know, the 90s and early 2000s, because very rarely, like, will you ever find someone that just has, like, a handful of RPGs. Like, most people, I feel like they were either into them or they weren't. So anyone that's going to have like, 2 or 3 good RPGs generally has like a whole bunch of them. And, whenever you can find them, it's, most of the time they're kind of like uncommon titles. They were kind of niche titles, way back when. I played a little bit of them back when I was younger, but I was never like super into them or everything. So when I started collecting again, I didn't have like a whole bunch from when I was younger. I had a few like the Final Fantasy games and stuff. But yeah, my RPG collection has come a long way. Super excited to get some of those DS ones for myself. And who knows? Maybe he'll hit me up again sometime this week and say, hey, I forgot I had the Super Nintendo with all these games. Wouldn't that be something? So I'll let you guys know if that does happen. Don't worry. I want to thank you guys for sticking around and checking out this whole video. And until next time, take care.